It was a peaceful sunny day. My sweet daughter, Emma, was holding my hand and smiling up at me. My loving husband, Adam, walked beside us. I felt so happy until I saw him. "Well, well, long time no see," he said, smirking. It was Lucas, my ex-husband. I hadn't seen him in years, and now here he was, grinning that same nasty grin. "Wow, did you have a kid?" Lucas sneered. "At your age? I wouldn't even think about becoming a mom if I were as old as you." I glared at him and replied, "That's none of your business. Leave me alone." I tried to walk past him, but Lucas stepped in front of me, blocking the way. He looked me over, head to toe, his eyes full of mockery. Then he laughed loudly, as if he couldn't hold it back anymore. "You're old, Clara. You know that, right? It's disgusting. And you," he said, turning to my husband, "you're her new guy. Man, what a mistake. You'll regret marrying this old hack." Lucas just wouldn't stop. My fists clenched as anger boiled inside me, but before I could say anything, Adam, calm and collected as ever, stepped in. "Lucas, right?" Adam said with a small smile. "Thanks for your input. Really insightful stuff. I'll be sure to think it over. My name is Clara. Lucas and I met years ago when we worked at the same company. He was a team leader, and I was his manager. We got married, and at first, everything seemed fine. I wanted children right away, but it wasn't easy. At 34, I started infertility treatments. They were tough, physically and emotionally. After years of trying, I finally got pregnant at 38. I was overjoyed. Being pregnant at an older age came with challenges. On top of that, I had to juggle work while preparing for motherhood. It was overwhelming, but the happiness of carrying my child made it all worth it. I dreamed of a happy family with Lucas and our baby, but Lucas didn't see it the same way. Fertility treatments are expensive, and I spent most of my savings on them. The side effects left me feeling sick and exhausted, and I couldn't perform at work like I used to. Eventually, I switched jobs for something less demanding, but it came with a pay cut. My salary was half of what it used to be. That's when Lucas started to change. I realized he'd admired me for my ambition and success. He liked the version of me who was career-driven and financially independent. Once I shifted focus to starting a family, Lucas grew distant and cold. In the end, the man I thought I'd build a life with showed me his true colors. Lucas married me because he liked how much money I made. That was his real reason. But after we got married, I told him I wanted to have a baby. When I changed jobs to focus on fertility treatments that were expensive, Lucas couldn't accept it. One day, he handed me divorce papers. Just like that, he left me. I was shocked by how quickly our marriage ended, but I didn't have time to dwell on it. I was carrying my baby, and I had to be strong for her. I promised myself I'd raise her well, no matter what. I explained my situation to my company and worked harder than ever. With the support of my parents, I was able to give birth to my daughter, Emma. The first time I held her in my arms, I felt like the happiest person in the world. Tears of joy streamed down my face. But someone else was even happier than I was, my new husband, Adam. Adam and I first met as business partners at my old company. We got along well at work, and he was genuinely disappointed when I resigned. A while later, we crossed paths again at my new job, working as partners once more. He learned about everything I had been through and was so kind and understanding. We always respected and liked each other, and before long, we grew close outside of work too. Before Emma was born, Adam and I got married. For the first time in years, I felt truly happy. Adam loved Emma like she was his own daughter. In fact, he adored her so much that he was sometimes overprotective. When I got sick after giving birth, Adam insisted that I rest. He took over the housework and cared for Emma all by himself. I knew Adam truly loved both of us. One sunny day, we decided to take a walk at the park. Emma fell asleep in her stroller shortly after we arrived. As we strolled, I noticed a familiar figure walking ahead of us. I quickly grabbed Adam's arm and tried to turn back the other way, but it was too late. The man had already spotted me. He looked at Adam and Emma with a surprised expression, then started walking toward us with that same nasty smirk I remembered all too well. "Well, well, long time no see," Lucas said. "Lucas," I muttered under my breath. "Long time," he repeated, still grinning. "Did you have a kid?" "Yeah." "Got a problem with that?" I shot back. No, I'm just amazed. How could someone your age even become a mother? He sneered. That's none of your business. Leave us alone, I replied firmly, trying to keep my voice steady. As I tried to walk past him, Lucas stepped in front of me, blocking the way. His eyes swept over me from head to toe. And then, as if he couldn't hold it back any longer, he burst into laughter. You're way too old to be a mom. It's disgusting. He kept going, relentless as always, and then he glanced into Emma's stroller. And your kid? Wow, she's as ugly as you are, Lucas said with a cruel laugh. Don't you dare say another word, I said through clenched teeth. If it were just about me, I might have let it go. But insulting my daughter, that was too much. I took a step forward, ready to stand up to him. But before I could say anything, Lucas's eyes shifted to Adam, who stood calmly beside me. And you must be the new husband, Lucas said, still grinning. You married this old hag, and she's got a kid with someone else. Really? Pathetic. Lucas's voice was dripping with mockery as he added, You know, Clara, the only good thing about you was how much money you made. That's why I married you. Without your paycheck, you're worthless. Then he turned his attention back to Adam, his smile growing even nastier. In this world, it's all about profit and gain, my friend. Only fools marry for love or loyalty. People like Clara, who give up good jobs to have kids, are just losers. You better watch yourself, Mr. New Husband. If you don't understand profit and loss, you'll regret it. Trust me. His loud, obnoxious laughter echoed through the park, shattering the peaceful afternoon. I clenched my fists, shaking with anger. I couldn't let him insult me, Adam, or especially Emma like that. I was ready to march over and tell Lucas exactly what I thought of him. But just as I moved forward, Adam gently placed a hand on my arm, holding me back. He hadn't said a word the entire time, quietly observing the scene. Clara, wait, calm down, Adam said gently, his hand resting on my arm. Wesley, I can't just stand here and stay quiet after hearing something like that, I argued, still fuming. I understand how you feel, but violence isn't the answer, Adam replied, smiling at me. I hesitated and slowly lowered my fist. Clara, do you know this man? Adam asked, his voice calm. He used to be one of my coworkers, I replied. I couldn't bring myself to tell him that Lucas was my ex-husband. I didn't even want to admit I had once been married to such a horrible person. But Adam seemed to understand without me saying a word. He smiled softly and nodded. So it's him, Adam said, his voice steady. Then he turned to me and said, Clara, take care of Emma for me, okay? He handed me the stroller and stepped forward to shield us from Lucas. Adam looked at Lucas with his usual calm smile. Lucas, right? Adam said. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. It's true that profit and loss are very important, not just in business, but with people too. Sometimes it's best to think in terms of profit and loss. What you said is very reasonable. Lucas's smile grew wider. Well, you're not as dumb as I thought. In that case, you shouldn't be with Clara. You know better. Lucas grinned at me and put his hand on Adam's shoulder, as if they were buddies. It was clear he thought Adam was on his side. But Adam didn't flinch. He brushed Lucas's hand off calmly. You know my father owns a business, and in business, profit and loss are very important. I think I'll talk to my father about what you said today, Lucas. Is your dad a president? Lucas asked eagerly, his eyes lighting up. If you want, I can talk to him directly. It was obvious Lucas was hoping to take advantage of the situation. Still obsessed with money and titles, he didn't care how badly he had treated me. I couldn't believe how different he acted now. I know you're busy, Lucas, so I'll let my father know, Adam said, his voice polite. I'm sure he'll be in touch soon. Well, I'll leave you alone for now, Lucas said quickly, backing off. With that, Adam took Emma and me and we walked away. As we passed Lucas, he glanced at me and I couldn't help but feel a little sorry for him. The next day, Lucas went to work and was immediately called into his boss's office. The president of one of his company's major partners had filed a complaint about him by name. That president? My father-in-law, the one who knew all the details about my divorce with Lucas. He was absolutely furious. Adam called Lucas's boss and told him about Lucas's terrible attitude, emphasizing how important it was to properly manage employees. My son told me that one of your employees mentioned the importance of profit and loss, Adam said. You should really consider how much damage one person's mistake can cause. When Lucas's boss finally understood what had happened, he called me. Hello. Clara, I'm sorry. Lucas's voice came through the phone. I was caught off guard by his apology. I knew he'd call me eventually, but I didn't expect it so soon. He must have been in a real rush to apologize over and over again. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive you? After everything you said? I thought to myself, what's going on? Did my father-in-law talk to you? I asked sarcastically. I heard him hesitate on the other side of the phone. He must have given you some advice, huh? I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I want to apologize in person to your current husband and the president, Lucas pleaded. Did your boss tell you to apologize? I asked, unimpressed. Yes, he said I can't come back to the company until I apologize to you and get your forgiveness. Please, Clara, help me. We were married once, Lucas begged. Enough, I said firmly. You've only ever seen me as a source of money, haven't you? Now you're acting like this. Weren't you the one who said everything's about profit and loss? Well, for me, keeping you around my husband and my father-in-law is a loss. Talking to you after you insulted my daughter and my husband is just a waste of time. So don't call me again. No, please, he stammered, but I hung up before he could finish. He had said so many hurtful things to me, and though I still didn't feel like I had said enough, I felt a little better. I could imagine him panicking at that moment. Soon after, Lucas' reputation took a big hit. He'd always been someone who looked down on others and had a poor reputation to begin with. When we worked together, I often had to clean up after his messes, but after I left the company, no one was left to cover for him. The frustration with Lucas began to grow both within the company and beyond. It turned out that Lucas's boss was furious with him because my father-in-law's company was one of their biggest clients. In the end, Lucas had no choice but to quit his job since things had gotten so bad. Now he's struggling to find a new job. I even received a long email from him asking me to help him find a new position. In one of his emails, he wrote something like, I know I said awful things, but I still love you, Clara. How disgusting. Rumor has it that after our divorce, he started dating a much younger woman. But when he lost his job and couldn't find another, she left him. Well, he got exactly what he deserved. He's been sending me emails saying things like, it's your fault I'm in this terrible situation, so you should help me, or you should help me because I still love you. It's like karmic retribution. I've been ignoring all his emails, but lately the frequency of them has been increasing. I'm considering blocking him for good. As for me, I'm still living happily with my loving husband Adam and our daughter Emma. Recently, Emma has started talking, and I can't take my eyes off her. She's growing up so quickly. Adam, my in-laws, and I all love her so much. I just want to keep this family happy forever.